Very good evening, everyone. Good evening. Right, you are preparing for a very rigorous course. You learn up the cause which you believe in. The project and workshops, I'm sure. You need to be prepared for that level of rigor, an extreme level of rigor. Right. It's like you virtually staying on campus. You virtually being taken to the rigor from whatever 8:30, 9 a.m. till late evening. Right? So it's basically a simulation of a business world. It's preparing you to hang in despite the odds. It's preparing you to respond to basic questions about yourself to begin with. Then they understand the level at which you're operating, and accordingly, they adjust the bar. So, you would have experienced today different types of interviews. I think all of you went through mocks. Possible that you perform differently in these two, vice versa. Right? At times you want to, and some of you yield. It's very difficult to say. It's very difficult to say no to every question when you're not in the scheme of things. And I think from that perspective, they started on a note where somebody showed the courage to hang in. It's difficult. And still you have a chance because you didn't yield. So possible they are assessing you on a different scale. The panel has so much on the mind. They have to come across as there. They have to come across as people who assess you in an inclusive manner. Different aspects of your personality assessed fairly. It's not easy. The panel also gets attached to a lot of questions. And there is a time constraint. So when this kind of a time constraint is there, both sides, it has to be a marketing situation between the seller and the buyer. So this is the conclusive session of the workshop, and we are here to appreciate the marketing angle to this whole challenge. And it's an approach which can probably help us to prepare, strategize. These terms were used today in the course of the interactions. Strategy was put across in different ways. We assessed students on their understanding of this book strategy and how strategically they have evolved from one point to another. It is not true that everything that you've done till now was planned well. Things happen. And then you have to do something about it. So you have to be honest till a certain point, but you cannot be dangerously honest. I mean, if they ask you a question like hobbies, you have to have hobbies. If you want to say anything on this question, you come across as a dry spec. They need some value addition from every candidate. Apart from what all you can assess from so far, the problem solving skills, analytical thinking, time management, all this has been assessed. Do the CAT, do the that, whatever test you're talking about. Now I think it's the last leg of the challenge. Do not be triumphant as yet. It's a dangerous feeling. Some of you would have multiple iron balls in the pockets. It doesn't end there. We've seen all kinds of situations, all kinds of scenarios. Okay. So this is the forum where you can ask questions regarding the yourself part regarding the marketing body. These terms have to be understood meticulously. Even commerce students today, most of them are not able to respond to a basic question on sales and marketing. I am not discounting this. What I'm saying is, these situations will come up on that page. Over here, we give you feedback, we prepare, improvise for the next day. Over there, there's no need. See, when we talk about these terms, a basic understanding has to be in this. Sales and marketing, this question has been there ever since. So we will try to terms in this session. So the session is branded as marketing yourself. So let's begin the session formally. I want the energy level intact. Let's co-create the session. Co-creation. Let's look at subway. You co-create. You walk in. You ask the guy at the counter to make you a sub. You add this, now this. That's co-creation. Where you participate with the stakeholder, that's co-creation. Where you participate with the stakeholder in creating joint value. I'm using strategic and management related and oriented. Co-creation, if you can, fantastic. They will ask you, what are you signing for? Let's understand the whole process of learning in a business school from the point of co-creation. Let's do that. So you understand co-creation. You are participating with the stakeholders to create joint value. So they ask you, what's going to happen inside the B school? I asked this question to a couple of candidates today. I'm sure you would ask different times. When you talk like this, that's how I see myself experiencing the process of co-creation. It's like teasing the panel. Now they know that you come prepared. But they want you to prepare. This is why they're giving you so much time. Your entire career is replete with IIFT things, review and forecast. They give you a time and date. It's a meeting scheduled for such and such day. You have to come prepared. The market, if you understand what went wrong and what you plan for the year ahead. Similarly, you have to sound prepared, you have to go prepared. Nothing wrong about it. Imagine talking like this. So I see myself learning from an experience of co-creation. I see myself co-creating value through 5 levels of interaction. It's a different pitch. It's not a standard thing, the case study. Because the morning also you said that you have to create a strong differentiator. Your value proposition, why me, has to be very strong. So I see myself interacting in 5 different ways. So look at the science there. Starting psychology there. Science, you research. You could find 5 reasons, 5 types of interactions. Psychology, you trigger the panel. You mildly excite the panel. 5 ways. The panel is either rushing. They've been told it's action reaction, you could behave like that. So now you have held the panel and this. Then I know there are 5 points that we talk about. Give me 5 and 6. And they will. Let's look at these 5 interactions. Number 1. You can register it, note it, and you can plan your answer the way you like. You customize it to suit yourself. To the same time. Right. So the first kind of interaction, which all of you know, is the student-student interaction. You creating value by participating with other students, peer group, cohort, and to ensure that the cohort is diverse and well profiled, the B-school has a rigorous selection process. So now you are in a safe learning group. You are in a group of people who've done 1,000 things, not just academic learning. They have evolved in different ways. Year on year, these are the terms we're talking about. And students, the ones who get through, they will apply them in miraculous ways. So take a note, keep it at the back of your mind. When the situation arises, create a leverage. Rush with the cost. Number one is student-student interaction. Peer group. Diverse, inclusive group. Okay? These terms are very important. Diversity, inclusion, sustainability. You have to pick up these terms along the way. So while on one side, we are giving you certain approaches, on the other side, I would appreciate if you can take down these terms. Let's create an inventory of these terms. Management. Okay? Second, student-faculty interaction. You are learning from their faculty. They have talked about the faculty on different platforms, in different ways. And you are supposed to research and pick them up. You are wanting to pursue marketing management. So who's the faculty there that teaches marketing management? If you are aware of that, and that somebody sitting in the panel, it kind of resonates. That's what I read of your profile. You are not trying to manipulate. You're trying to give this message that I did my research. I know what I'm planning for. The faculty plays a major role in your learning process. So who are those people? Mr. Ramanuja, he has a PhD in marketing from UCLA. Been teaching here for the last 25 years. This is his area of expertise, brand management. And so and US of commerce. And so I can relate to brand management. In graduation, I came across this term, and that interested me. I want to make a career in this. You're putting across a vertical. Now you have told the panel very strategically that you are able to look at marketing management in multiple ways. One of them is brand management. So which are the other ways? That's the next question. So there is market research. There is advertising management. And there is sales and distribution. Now your understanding of the domain is kind of clear. You put across this message that I know what I'm saying. This is, I think, a good way of reaching out to the panel as to what happens inside the business. The student, that's peer group, student, faculty, and faculty, when it's a student faculty, it may also be, I think most of these schools will mention the guest faculty also, that will come from certain other business schools at different locations of the world. So why not those faculty? We can talk about them also. Interview. And this research has to be done for different schools at different points of time, depending. Number 3, student-industry interaction. You guys say either industry comes to campus or you go to the industry. So if the industry comes to campus, it means there are people from the industry who reach out to you in the business school. They give you insights as to what is happening in the marketing management world, in the finance management world, because they're working. They are applying it day in, day out. They are senior people. When they have done that, they walk the path which you are about to start. What other way of interacting with the industry? You went to the industry. Internships, projects, summer internship, 2 months, in a 2-year program, and subject-based projects. So now they know that your understanding of the business school is pretty much in place. You know what you're, let's say, exactly. So this is your third level of interaction. Student industry. Number 4, student alum. The alumni of that school. They invite people from that B school to come and connect with you in different forums. They honor those people when they're done from that particular interview. The bonding is stronger. I think even at college level, graduate level, I'm sure people you are able to see, oh, this is something, mentally and Harvard. So the bond is stronger. Whatever you get is graduated. So that is the 4th level of interaction that you would learn from. The 5th level, student communities. You interact with the communities around the business school. You're doing a sustainability practice project in the immediate community, in the world as a potent learner. Different aspects of management are being appreciated by these different entities. Now you join value creation, stakeholders, interactions, 5 levels. Explain. You fill the time space well. See, you have to understand. If the ball stays with you, he has a better chance to win. So, few questions. You could answer. Expand your answers. Give examples. Pattern up. With the picture. Right? Those one-word answers we don't encourage. Today we also had introductions like, so I'm a mechanical engineer. Right? So learning from the institution where I did my graduation from was shaped in 3 different ways. A problem here, if you forget the 3rd way or the 2nd way, now you start. You have created a monster. So this approach will work if you have the presence of mind. Okay? Promising something and not fulfilling the promise is a crime. It's like you overstate and under-deliver. Yeah. Talking about that. Now the other aspect of marketing which we can apply to this challenge is the identity versus image approach. Some of you who have studied commerce or we know that there is something called a brand identity and there is something called a brand image. Identity is the way we want to be seen. Image is the way we are seen by the receiver. So I typically give this classic example of Tata Hand. It was positioned as an affordable car, but it was marketed as a cheap car. The identity was around affordability. The image was around compromising certain quality factors. And that year, 2008, so many nano engines they took to fire. So people put 2 engines together. And that has been created in different ways through different mediums. Say, you responded to some questions in a form that you shared with. They have made a life of you. This is a person who is a mechanical engineer from a top institute and has a 9+ CGPA So they expect you to respond to basic questions on mechanical engineering. भी आ गया ना नहीं आती बहुत बात but the life has gone up now. Even asked it नहीं आती मुझे क्यों नहीं आई that's the other challenge आगे तो सवाल हमारे so this identity has been created in a written form through essays through forms you responded to and during the process of interacting with the panel, you keep on enhancing or damaging your identity. Correct? An image is how they finally perceive you. And the gap between the two, in marketing we call that brand gap. The gap between the two is going to be the killer, the criminal. So to minimize this gap, you have to add flesh and blood to what you wrote. They understand chat. They know the possibility that students have used those aids to create answers to your question, even to prepare. But using those words would require that level of conviction. So, if you have used such words in your answer, in the form you have shared with them, now you have to live up to it. Right? So this is the other approach, which means that please ensure that whatever you passed on to the panel, coming to the preparation part. See, one thing means another. Now let's profile this. This is what alright? Let's look at who you are. Let's start with the introduction. I think in certain sessions I've shared this framing. Quick recapitulation. So number one is your introduction. Please make your brand statement, your positioning statement. You are the brand. What's a brand? Something. You are the brand. What's a brand? Something which identifies the product, the timeless. Your identity that is now maybe significantly different from your identity 3 years ago. The identity changed. Though the positioning statement is the same. 2 minutes. I'm using these terms so that you start getting excited. At least the ones who want to pursue marketing or the ones who study commerce and business. They ask the question on brand, identity, brand image, brand personality, brand extension, who's studying. So your understanding of these basic terms has to be in place. Preparation ke pehla, the introduction, you need a positioning statement, that's one, and you need to cover different aspects of your environment. Here we talk about your immediate self, the family, the place you belong to, the city, the state, the country, and the world. You go like this, you will not miss anything. You cover your city from different aspects. You cover the place from different aspects. You're talking about a brief history of the place, a brief geographical context. There have been questions like locate Chandigarh on the map. Which numbers will I use? We're talking about a latitude and longitude. And you are a person of numbers. You are an engineer. So the number game has to be appreciated. Right? And quality of the place and industry and economy. This is what we have released. Who's the name? Who's the mayor of Chandigarh? That question came up in the morning. The political setup. What kind of industry is there in Chandigarh? So you can't just dampen the spirit of the panelist. It's not too much of this. It's a very peaceful and happy state. Now, there is no scope of interacting with you. Don't do that. People do that. It's funny today. But facing the panel, you can interact in different ways. It's surprise yourself. Some of you will overperform. and look back and oh my God, this was me. You're responding to all questions on probability and statistics. If you're from that background, right? So this is the first thing. Cover these things. Then come to your academic learning. Now, academic learning, so segregate it. The first one is your defining concepts of your branch. There is no ignoring them. Even if you have graduated in 24 and you've been working for a while, or 23, this will not change. So you as a student of commerce, you as a student of life sciences, whatever is the matter. So there are certain defining concepts of your, right? I mean, for example, being a mechanical engineer, I give this example. The mechanical engineering, we advise to cover thermodynamics, manufacturing processes, quality management, ICs. In some form or other, and basic applications of these subjects. For example, the refrigerator at home. You understand. If you are an electronics engineer, the TV, what's happening in the TV? What's the electronic engineering there? Right? Now, a refrigerator is a very interesting application of mechanical engineering thermodynamics. Which law of thermodynamics is applicable to a refrigerator? ऐसा नहीं पूछा गया. I've asked similar questions. Look it up. Any application of the branch and the defining concept. Defining concepts, 15 से ज़्यादा नहीं होंगे. Make a list of these concepts. Sit with your mentor and focus on these questions. Chat with them. But the mentor would have also experienced such fruits in the past. They would give you better lessons. Prepare these questions. That is number one in academic learning. Number two, any incidents of studying management as a part of your graduation. Any subject you studied which was related to management. BBA, commerce, not be commerce. Engineering and electrical engineering. I know most of the engineers will sign for management electives because they want to go in for consulting jobs. They're going for financial analysts. They have to de-engineer themselves. When I say de-engineer, they use these words. So are you de-engineering yourself? What is the obvious response? No. They don't like this. But keeps on making it. Alright, I can give this question. All engineers here. So why are you de-engineering yours? What's the shade? You know, it doesn't feel nice. You get the goosebumps. Okay. They are challenging you and they are wanting to see your response up here. Right? Some people get great effects, particularly the ones who did not score well. Why? Because flat all the this is the plan. So then you come to the upside in engineering. Sir, it enhances my critical reasoning and problem solving skills. अच्छा लग रहा है? कैसे? Is the next one. So I was made to go through a rigor of lectures, tutorials, and practicals. Now you have put across one more aspect of learning. So do something with this question. Take the challenge elsewhere. जैसे why engineering? Challenge why engineering? Why engineering? The challenge is when you start responding to that question, you end up passing on so many inputs to the panel, and those inputs become discrete questions, and they all assume the proportions of different dimensions of your personality. आंसर तो वही है सर, क्या आंसर है वही देगा, क्यों करना चाहते हो? Down there, you know the business will train you in a certain way, prepares you for those challenges to become an industry and society ready global business management professional with a sense of social cause and empathy, serving the corporations and the society at large. कुछ गलत नहीं, आप पूछिए, sense of social cause. What is this industry and society readiness? Why is like society important for corporations? I thought it was based on capitalism. So what is this society that you're talking about? So CSAT. Okay, the corporate social responsibility. You might good, but rather than giving us one word inputs, why don't we expand? Enjoy the answering bit. Enjoy the answering. Rather than taking any money to like, the people who walk in with a finger crossed, I will walk the interview, this is not anything. I want this something. मैं कह रहा हूँ ये कर लेते हैं, ये possible नहीं है, because you're talking about man Ahmedabad, man Bangalore, Kolkata, they will assess you on your learning also. But prepare like this, segregate. The best way to market yourself is to research the needs of the panel and then plan the value proposition accordingly. That is one. Let's get back to academics. Defining concepts, its application to the industry and the world around you. Kar lena. Alright? There are products. Every product which you see out here is an application of one or the other field of engineering. Obviously. Do that. And commerce, even of course, you study a biology. Is baat पूछा गया था. One of the students was asked, I think last year. So why is it important for the biology to be balanced? It is already there. Balance होता है. Sir, assets and liabilities. एक चीज रह गई इसमें. Shareholder equity. The fundamental equation of a company. What happens if it is imbalanced? तो possible नहीं है. Balance है. तो भाई इसका मतलब कि the equity is not proper. There is an error. It is based on your वो क्या होता है? Double. हाँ, double equity. Bookkeeping. उससे बेच. Don't take something out of it. Don't take it otherwise. ये वो पूछेगा आपको. Let's see. When you say that I follow stocks, you know somebody says shares in stocks, I invest in them. So how do you assess the worth of a stock? Basic question. You are aspiring to become an investment banker. An investment banker has to maximize the wealth for the client. So are you able to maximize your wealth or not? If you can't do it, a better perspective is go prepared and sound natural. Because then you've covered all risks. The risk management is what we are preparing. This, whatever you've experienced today, is an effort in data picture. कल ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, कल ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. If you did well. Correct? So simulations. So academic learning, defining concepts, electives or subjects linked to management. Number 3, a very interesting. Seriously. If not projects, then talk about paper presentations. Talk about group tasks. They're not going to come and check it. And this is the contemporary way of learning. Look at classrooms, role plays. Even engineering subjects are not like that these days. So that excitement you have to pass on to the panel, but you have to feel excited for that. You had to fit in your system. There is possible fit नहीं आ सकती. Fair enough. What you have to believe in what you've done. Okay, even if your path has been released with changes, you did a particular course, then you did another branch to that course, then you work in a different area altogether. Now you because they want people, as we said in the morning, 3 C's: content, clarity, confidence. हर चीज को I'm doing it, it's work professionally, personally. Numbers, 2 कारण, 5, and remember, that's important. Otherwise, it backfires. Prepare like this. Projects we have to take up. Let's look at projects. It's a very interesting way of learning. It is an application of practice. So, sir, I was able to appreciate my project from 4 dimensions. Wait there. Once again, so learning, outcomes, challenges. They'll stay coming to the learning. Possible, they don't let you advance to the input. It happened today also. For 2 reasons. Either they knew that you were going in the right direction, so that it's loaded, they're convinced, they want to open the next credit. Or you will not make mistakes. So, this kind of an understanding of project framework is very important. And this applies to people who are working. They can talk about their experience, their learning in these different ways. So I've been working for the last 3 years, and I would like to segregate my tenure in the organization from 4 different perspectives. 1 to 3, which we talked about. See it? 4th dimension of academic learning, your academic graph. That may be calculated. From 90s to 70s to 60s. I mean, it's against the question which has been there forever. If there's a dip, they'll ask you. So, do you think your academic abilities are deteriorating? No. Yes, no answer. If the answer is too obvious, the challenge is not in the yes no part. That's the verdict. That's really understanding. How many of you want to succeed? Do you want to succeed? People say yes. कोई ऐसा बोलता नहीं. तो challenge क्या है? Understanding success. Your understanding of this term becomes more important. It's whether you lived up your understanding of this term in your past. That is so rush nahi karna. Any topics also. If the topic is controversial, poses a question, you quickly take a stand. You're not supposed to take a stand quickly. You're supposed to appreciate the journey, evolve, not arrive. Unless it pushes you into taking a stand. Just answer the question in yes or no. That's fine. Okay? So you react accordingly. Then you align as to what they want. As per what they want. The marketing angle. So that is the academic part. Favorite subject. At times, any one concept or subject you want to be questioned. Now the analogy is, if you can't hold the pen there, you will not be able to hold the pen and tell students. So this was your favorite area. हम क्या सोचते हैं? क्वेश्चन देगा. उसको पढ़ना है. Right? Now you can't say the communication in mechanical engineering. You are leading them to non-engineering subjects. ये हो सकता है. You challenge the strategic management was my favorite. Though I am from mechanical engineering background and I did have my learnings in place. I've come across as somebody who can analyze and solve problems. But this subject, which came across in the 3rd semester, really exists. And the best part, how about thinking? I'm not discounting engineering. Basically, you say like it. But I'm leading him on to strategic management. So, obvious question here: what is strategy? What is management? What's the correlation? Any company which has made an excellent application of predictive management. Example, yes. So then the marketing spend is I can stay ahead of the competition. To keep on recharging the market. So these are different strategies to stay active in the market. The word visible. People who will opt for marketing, sales, they should pick up brands at their place. Remember it all है, देखो क्या लिखा है नीचे 99.9 लिखा है, कंपनी कौन सी है, क्या उसकी पैकेजिंग कैसी है, आज मैं सर देखिए. So a company like HUL has more than 2 billion customers on a single day. It's really work. It's a movie company with these 2 headquarters, one in London, one in I think Amsterdam. It's an IIFT company. Some companies in that domain, finance and financial investment, banking, industry, do we have marketing? You should be aware of marketing excellence. कोई एक brand को मैगी को ले, all of this. The ones who are talking about sales marketing. The identity of the brand has evolved over the years. Launched in 1983 by Nestle in the Indian market. The consumer survey was based on asking a number which infuses Indians. Don't survey this number is a number of delight. You ask anybody, how far are you? 2 minutes away. Even if that somebody half an hour away. दो मतलब ये बात आप भी जानते हैं, मैगी वाला भी जानते हैं कि मैगी क्यों बनाई. It's a ऐसा कैसे है? It's a value proposition. It says okay, it's another management term, which leads me to a significant difference between sales and marketing. In today's interviews rather, we gave different situations around sales and marketing. One of them was, can you place them in Venns, as in a Venn diagram? One circle for marketing M and one for sales. There are 4 possibilities. Either it's a this-one set, or they overlap, there is some intersection, or either marketing is the largest set, sales is within, or the other one. 4 possibilities. It is the third possibility. Marketing is the largest set, sales is part of it. If you are able to explain it like this to them, they can understand. Now the obvious question is, what is happening in the area which is outside sales? ऐसा marketing में क्या जो sales नहीं है? Then you get down to the next level of the challenge. So sales is the transactional part of it. It is the point where the exchange is happening. The customer gets the product or service, and the seller gets the what? Money. That is sales. उससे पहले और बाद sales नहीं होता. There is customer relationship management after sales. There is product management before that, and there is market research before that. Again, BBA commerce wale. Since you have read the 4 P's of marketing, and believe you me, it's not just 4, it's 7. You talk about services, you also talk about physical evidence, process, people. So it's pretty much the what are the 3 extended P's in services marketing? So a basic understanding of the function that you want to pursue. In the morning also we clarified that you cannot give answers like, I haven't decided yet, I will study the first thing. It doesn't work like that. There has to be an inclination towards or create one. And reasons for that, the reasons for that are within. your skills, your area of study. Engineering में पढ़ा corporate finance, अच्छा लगा, okay, you were able to relate to it. You've got skills which you've grown up with. You were able to resolve conflicts when you're growing up. So HR, समझ आता है. Definitions आनी चाहिए, working definitions. The responsibility of HR is to ensure that employee productivity is maximized. इतना ही है. Employee productivity is maximized. कैसे is the next challenge? And value chain understood. Starting with recruiting, recruitment, selection, D&D, compensation, performance appraisal, motivation, separation. We don't say exit or firing, we say separation. So the contemporary way of using these terms, for example, some of you might say, sir, I want to, the chairman of this company, the chairperson, we are moving towards a gender-free equal society. That is responsibility also. You are teaching the society the way things should be. You fit in that kind of learning. Are you adaptable? The choice of words will make a difference. Marketing. So, क्या रहा पहला? Introduction. Second, academic learning. Third, let's start with the third challenge. The third challenge there, we are talking about the value proposition which you have to create around the elements of profile. The elements of profile need to be understood in a certain way. And if you prepare like this, you will not miss any aspect of your profile. Number 3 is extracurriculars and interests. In an MBA interview, this is significant. They want people who can act in clubs, chapters, societies, sports, and yet appreciate critical reasoning, problem solving, empathetic reasoning, creative reasoning, different forms of reasoning. This kind of profile is the most desirable. Hobbies. In this, you have to prepare society's capital clubs. 1. Anything you would really help. Ego question. Fair is foul and foul is fair. That's the opening line in negative. What is your view on this? Apply to the corporate world. Okay? Don't look shocked. Should be prepared to respond to this. It's changed. They're changing the pitch. How do you respond to change management? So many things in the business school where you're prepared to, to understand and manage change. HR is a domain. Whenever change is introduced, education of the stakeholders is very important. No subject out there. So you have chapters, societies, clubs, sports. The sport है उसकी brief history, tournaments, dimensions of the area in which sport is played. I remember this question: what's the weight on the cricket ball? People have been memorizing 5.5 ounces. The next question is: how much is 1 ounce? Quantify. So quantification of matter becomes significant. Say, with the question, and then somebody give a very good answer. The word seek means a disciple, a learner. The next question was, now they're moving from religion to academics. That's your, that's your affinity with a particular set of beliefs, which they respect. But now this learning is made to your college learning. So, Tukaram, if you have understood your environment, different aspects of the environment, you'll be able to strike the correlation. उसकी brief history, tournaments, the dimensions, players. So who's your favorite these days in this particular sport and why? You're their understanding of influencers. Do you understand influencing or not? Brand, your consumer behavior is a concept. We call it influencers, social media. What influences this person? What persuades you? Talking about persuasion, let's apply one more theory of marketing here. Now I travel back in time, and this is 3rd century BC, and we talk about Aristotle's philosophy of persuading people. The persuasive manager. Now this is a wonderful book I am in publication. The persuasive manager. पतली सी किताब है, पढ़ सकते हो तो पढ़ लो. Lovely thing to read. It's an IIFT publication. The persuasive manager. और इसी की कौन publication है? Strategies for business growth. Written in very simple language with examples, which you can use. IIFT publications. Okay. Strategies for business growth. What is the money? Right. But look at the time powers. Now is not the time to initiate what? Convergent or divergent pursuits. You need to converge now. Everything has to converge onto that single why the differentiator. So I read this book on the persuasive manager. आप बैठे यहाँ लेकिन आपने बोल दिया सर it's an application. It's not possible that they will not ask you questions. They will and they. And it's like what 120 or 120. Lead them to those questions. Strategy for business growth. No questions obvious. How do you measure business growth? What is the strategy? Look at it like this. Lead them on. That's the marketing. Lead them with a plan. Lead them without a plan, it will backfire. 3 reasons why you're wearing the tie. Talking about marketing yourself, start from there. It's okay. This is a manager. Right? I'm just giving you an insight into the mind of the finance. What possibly can they ask? Okay. So we were on interests and hobbies. उसके बाद and I talked about persuasion. So I was relating it with the 3 ways of persuading anybody. That's what Aristotle says. No, you can answer that. उसके 3 ही थे. Fantastic. This is what the book says. And you have these 3 ways for a project you can possibly talk about any one aspect of your profile which can build that credibility. For example, the Tatas, they use it day in, day out. Tata Steel, Tata Nano, Tata Sword, Tata Why? Because the word Tata stands for credibility and trust. So it's easier for them to launch. Similarly, कई बार ऐसे भी होता है इंट्रो में आपको पता है कि the academic side is challenged. So you make every possible effort to get them onto everything but academics. Right? So उसको भी समझ आया कि when you're hard selling that part. Because intro में उसका जिक्र ही ना हो possible नहीं. Sir, and I was more excited with the chapter of society than with the part. He knows that you are not like it. Okay? What's wrong with that? पर उससे वापस आएगा आ सकता है. आप समझ रहे? Nothing wrong in it. If credibility and trust, why? The other is pathos, emotions. Pathos emotions होती है. समझो उसको. They have an ego. They are beautiful. If you carry on research, if you look after the listening statement, you know the faculty here. कितना बड़ा campus है हमारा, कितना पैसा लग गया हमारा. तो ये तो understand the emotions. ये तो human है. You have to see their responses. वो एक पीछे बैठा हुआ वो आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज देख रहा है, right? So that somebody can come towards the end, right? And that's a dangerous proposition. And this happens. I will not name the these two, but makes us very good. So उसमें अपना top level these CD चल रही है. This moderator, two of them, they announced the topic. Came out. One of them actually exited. The other guy turned around and placed himself on the floor. Teacher. Some people are not able to think in that scenario. You are supposed to get distracted here. They're giving you a task to complete it. That is a distraction to you. They planted something somewhere and they're watching you. Right? So this kind of deviation can be a killer at times. Respect their emotions. They've invested in their cause. So क्या unique है? What is the differentiation in the website? Understand it, leverage it, use it at the right time. The tagline, the ecosystem, exchange program, or 3 months abroad, whatever the case is. There must be an answer. And you can't say all these two are the same. Eventually, the processing is by and large similar. But the way in which the processing is done is different. Third, logos. If nothing works, logic works. Now this works for comparative analysis. If you compare two propositions, so you are comparing A and B. Which one? Here, your logical proposition is going to be the differentiator. So these are the points of comparison. My decision is based on these parameters, and I do a cost-benefit analysis. Now you sound there is a cost and the benefit, and you have to see which one is more. If cost is more than benefit, then obviously it's not a great solution. So 3 ways of persuasion: ethos, pathos, logos. हम बात कर रहे थे marketing yourself. We talked about introduction. We talked about academic learning, interests, and number 4 would be your career goals at times. Why engineering? Why engineering? Killer. Right. Why commerce? Why MBA? Is aligning very well. Why BA? Why MBA? The conviction has to be stronger. Now, your ability to, they've asked questions like, can you form a picture sketch 5 and 15 years hence? Can we do it? Let's do it. 5 years hence, say somebody giving a statement, a picture, make me imagine what it would look like. It's called a picture sketch. 5 years hence, those are the years. These are. What does it look like? For what time? Lines, but it has to be an answer. Don't tell me I'll speak like this. Speak. Think about it. Again, you're not a guy who can give you challenges, you would put through such challenges on that. 5 years hence picture. Smart, it's good for you. It's giving you time to prepare it. वही कल आपकी और ना सीधे हैं पूछेंगे क्या बातें कैसे हैं? You understand? They are assessing you on preparedness and improper thinking both. Something which you can think of and something which you couldn't see coming. They will assess both. Which school assesses which parameter more would depend on the context. So pictures get 5 साल 15 साल पहले लगेगा Don't hesitate. There's nothing right or wrong. It cannot be wrong. Gee, if nobody answers, then I will have an answer. Yeah. Louder. After that, then leading that team, holding the okay. Anything else? Rather than Malaya, it's not wrong. You can't go wrong here. यही होता है. Teams हैं, lead करने हैं, strategy groups हैं, but takeaway नहीं है. I don't have a takeaway something. You said working with a good company. तो इससे पूछा जा सकता है, what defines goodness of a company, right?
Mostly will be doing the job in a fan company.
Okay. Again, it's not bad, but I'm still not getting that play. Managerial skills will evolve as a learner. The management domain, start working in a good company. I'm happy ever after. उसके बाद चैलेंज जो होता है ना, हाँ, पहले आप फिर. After 6 years, I want to be. Like after 5 to 6 years, I want to be in any product company where I, as a managerial, I would be in a market research. I would do market research, and after 15 years, I would be at a senior position where I would try to expand market of that particular product. Okay, so you are passing on a domain like product management, and you apply market research, and you will lead on and acquire a senior position there. Okay. Take it. You're coming to me. Up, go, get up. Then you want to expect the last one.
5 years hence, I pictured myself commanding myself well in a crowd, having a well-defined voice, with the ability to confabulate and read my fears and surroundings for opportunities seamlessly, and having a better professional and financial future.
Further, the choice about this is too dramatic. Not wrong. It's like I'm lost. Okay. But again, the takeaway is for me.
I see myself in a room of C-suite executives presenting and strategizing business and.
You know what I He's creating a picture scape. Everybody can imagine that. The way he said it, it's like a question of time to distance. Straight into the tunnel. Tunnel है ना? तो उन्होंने बोला कि मैं ऐसा वहाँ खड़ा हूँगा, डिवाइस गाइड, ओके, तो ये take it. And
Myself leading
those teams. One last. So I see काम हुआ and 15 साल बाद जुलाई में कुछ में बोल दिया which will I 15 साल का डेंसिटी होगा, right? Not bad. It's a short strong input. Yeah. Okay. So again, there's nothing right or wrong here. The challenge is to make them see you in a certain way. Generic से बात करनी है, उसका भी तरीका. I'll try. So I see myself working in teams, understanding organizational vision, mission, and goals, and leading those teams in due course of time with the scale and scope of leadership enlarging. 15 years hence, I see myself strategic business decision-making goals, defining the paths which a unit or multiples thereof should take to maximize the business. ये generic है. I will talk about consulting. I didn't use that strategy of, kind of people standing in the room and imagining all of that. I've kept it very simple. But there is a time progression, based progression to it. मैंने भी वही यूज किया कि अंडरस्टैंडिंग गोल, विजन पूछ ले, ये नहीं पूछना तो लीडरशिप क्या होती है पूछ ले, ये नहीं पूछना तो स्ट्रेटेजिक डिसीजन मेकिंग क्या होती है, and how does that influence business growth, वो पूछ ले, right? So generic inputs also have to be packaged in a strategic manner. It just cannot go wrong. You can't go wrong. What is the way you say? Alright, so career plans में जो किया वो क्यों किया, करते जा रहे, the correlation between them and an understanding of the business model. The B school has an input and an output and a processing unit. The morning I talked about that. The input is somebody, now this is important, who's willing to learn, who is task oriented, who has a capacity for hard work, who has a temperament suited for teamwork, and who has a strong sense of purpose. Now, this I picked up from the Ahmedabad brochure in 1999 when I started coaching. I thought it's very important for the students to understand the panel's mind. That statement was there in the brochure. It talked about what kind of students they need. That's उसमें every area. Student industry, student alum, student humanities. This is your base to know. The journey till now, the journey now. Right? And do not forget the care approach, the care strategy, the challenge, a possible approach, a response, and evasion. What not to say. Remember the forces of persuasion, ethos, pathos, logos. Credibility and trust, the emotion management part of it. Right? And the game is yours. Okay? Wish you all the best. And we want you guys to wind up on a note which makes you believe in yourself. And which makes you believe in yourself. And I always end this session with which all of us have to raise aloud. I can. It has to go up now. This is start over. Yes, I can. Loudest. Yes, good. All right. Thank you so much, and you have a good evening and good.